I'm Mark.
And I'm Zach.
Every week, on a Saturday, in the Fab Radio International Studios,
we discuss 3 of the week's comic book releases and decide if we want to...
pull or pass. Hello and welcome to Pull or Pass, your weekly geeky comic book radio show. I'm Mark. Oh, it's issue 16 and I'm Mark.
And I'm Zach. I'm back, baby.
Hi, Zach. Welcome back. Thank you to Fraser for covering last week and stuff. He was adequate.
You did fine.
No, I'm being mean. Thank you to Fraser. It was nice having him back in the Fab studio, even if it was just for 1 week. But we are back to normal. You've been to Japan. How was Japan?
Japan was really good. Japan is great. We should all move to Japan and start up a comic book radio show there.
I mean, we could, but I'm not going to.
All right, just me then.
I like Manchester. Manchester is less Japan-y.
I mean, by definition, yes. But also, Japan is less Manchester-y.
Well, yeah, but that makes it less appealing to me. Mm. I'm glad you had a nice time. How's the jet lag?
Not great. Better than I was, but if I could not be awake at 5 in the morning, that would be just great.
Jet lag is the worst, isn't it?
I've never experienced it before. I've been on long flights, but I was way younger, so I just don't remember any problems. But now, it hurts. I'm awake too early. I'm asleep at like 9 o'clock at night, and that's like 5 hours before I'm meant to be asleep at night.
Zach, normal humans go to bed around 9 or 10 o'clock.
And I think we both know we're not normal humans.
No, we are not normal humans.
We plan the show at 2 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. I always know that
I
always know if I message you at 1 a.m, I'm going to get a reply. So, yeah. Anyway, should we talk about the news? I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, news, let's do that.
I'm
glad to be back.
It is meaty news this week.
It is.
Meaty news. Titans launched. How much of it have you watched?
None of it. I've been asleep.
Oh, of course you have. You've been asleep. Well, it was released a week ago yesterday, and I've done okay. I'm really enjoying it, but I have limited amount of time. But despite having limited amount of time, I've watched 8 episodes.
I don't know how long the season is, but that seems like it's a pretty good chunk, yeah.
It's 13 episodes. It's launched on British Netflix. For all our American listeners, this is old news. You've had season 2 for ages. The only other country that's listened to us having looked at our figures is Australia, and I've got no idea about whether they've got Titan Series 2 either. So if you live in Australia and we're spoiling it, I'm sorry. If you live in Australia and you've had it for ages, like America... Sorry about the late news. This is bad news. Should we move on?
Eventual news, is that what
Eventual news. But most of our listeners are actually British. I think there's about 25% are American, about 10% are Australian.
I feel like you're making these figures up.
No. The podcast site I use has like figures of who listens to us around the world. Yeah. I think we've had one random European country once, like Estonia or something.
And that's the market to break. We all know that.
That's one listen in Estonia. The rest are UK, America, and Australia. Anyway, yeah. I've got one bit of news before we go into our 3 trailers that have dropped this week. We had 2 trailers last week and 3 trailers this week.
It's a trailer-heavy month, isn't it?
It's been pretty cool for trailers. The news I've got is that it looks like Hulk solo films are go if Marvel wants to, and that they've got the film rights back after quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether they will do that. Hulk is pretty cool, but they've also told his story significantly through other people's films anyway.
Yeah, I think he was a really good supporting character in Ragnarok, and his contribution in Infinity War and the other one, Endgame, was really good as well, without him being the focus. So
yeah.
I kind of like him as not the focus, but telling the Mark Ruffalo Hulk story.
There was a lot of whining about how Hulk went from Grr Hulk to Clever Hulk with no explanation. And Marvel are doing stuff in the past, in inverted commas, with Black Widow, so there's no reason why they couldn't go back.
Yeah, they could answer that.
And tell the story of how Hulk got clever.
Yeah, I mean, we could get to that. We've got a 5-year gap between Infinity War and Endgame. You could tell that story if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would also... One of the things I've wanted most from kind of a Hulk universe is She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk.
We've already got She-Hulk.
Do we?
Yeah, she's having her own teleseries, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, She-Hulk on the telly.
That.
Yeah, She-Hulk on the telly. On Disney Plus.
Let's be honest, I forget about everything Disney Plus because it doesn't affect me yet.
Well, we haven't got Disney Plus. Let's not have Mark's usual rant. And it's actually only 10 weeks away for us now, maybe even less.
Just imagine there's a calendar at your house where you're just crossing off the days for...
No, I quit my job. I'm doing that with my with my job.
It's got a countdown timer in the corner until you pour.
Yes, quite. Should we move on to our trailers rather than talking about me quitting my job?
Yes, for now.
My day job, not my good job, the one that I like, the celebrant stuff. I'm still doing that. If you need anyone for a wedding pie, employ me. I'm currently unemployed.
And if you need a wedding soundtrack, I am available.
Yeah. Anyway, Morbius. Should we talk about Morbius?
Yes, let's talk about Morbius.
Did you notice in association with Marvel?
Yeah, it's kind of got this tone of, look, yeah, we want your name at the start of the film, but leave us alone, yeah? And I'm okay with that in a way.
I don't know whether it's good or bad. I think the fact that it's either what you just said, or it's a bit of a suck-up now that they're friends again and sort of friends again. And
yeah, I think it could be that this trailer gives more hints to direct tie-ins.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's a proper horror film trailer.
Yes,
and we had one of those last week with New Mutants,
of course,
from from Disney, sort of from Disney.
Disney via Fox, Fox via Disney.
Disney bought it.
Yeah. What I've written down about this is that it looks like an early 2000s vampire film, so like Queen of the Damned or Dracula 2000. And then I've just written, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm also okay with that.
Those are two not great films that I will gladly watch again and again.
Yeah.
And that's how this looks. This looks like a cheesy early thousands vampire film. It doesn't look amazing. It doesn't look terrible. It just...
What did you think of the kind of weird wispy colours that reminded me of Nightcrawler?
That's another thing I've got down, actually. It's very Nightcrawler. It looks like he can just bamf wherever he wants.
Yeah, and the full vamp face was really scary and looked dead good. I really am quite excited about this film, but not really because it's a comic book film, but because I'm a bit of a vampire fanboy.
Yeah, I think that's the thing for me is I like Morbius. We've covered that on previous episodes.
See, I like the idea of Morbius. I didn't like the most recent run of Morbius.
No, I don't think either of us did.
No.
But we both like the idea of Morbius, the character, and we both like vampire films. So I think this is
for us.
This is speaking to the vampire fan in me, not the comic book fan. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe...
Yes, yeah, and it was always going to. And but I was also intrigued on how it was going to work with the Venomverse, and then suddenly there was the Vulture.
Yeah, which made you swerve for the end.
Hello, Vulture. Vulture. Oh my goodness gracious me.
Which could be a really positive thing. It could show that the Venomverse is closer to the MCU than we initially believed. Which could be really cool. It could be a marrying together of different ideas, and that could be
the
awesome.
MCU.
Yeah.
They could have come up with a deal that's the MCU, or it could just be that it's...
Michael Keaton was available.
It could just be that Michael Keaton's playing the Vulture in the Venomverse, but it's not the same Vulture that we've seen in...
Yeah, that's also possible.
But that's cool. Either way, that works for me, because I know there was going to be some huge talk, hugely rumoured that there was going to be some Tom Holland in the Venomverse as well.
Yeah.
So again, it could be Tom Holland's playing Spider-Man, but not the same Spider-Man as we've seen in the MCU.
Especially when it's the next Doctor Strange film that's meant to be dealing with the multiverse.
Yeah.
So this could be another leg of the same...
I mean, it could be one of Doctor Strange's multiverse. We could...
Yeah.
Damn, we could see Venom in the in Doctor Strange's film.
Or Morbius.
Damn. Or Silver Sable. Or Black Cat.
Whoever you want.
Yeah.
Madam Web.
Or
Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, I just want me some Kraven. Get me Kraven, damn it.
Bring me Kraven.
Bring me Kraven.
I love Kraven. Yeah. Everybody loves Kraven.
That's because... and he's never been done at the cinema in films. So that would be well good if we had some Kraven. But I want that for the next Spider-Man Tom Holland film.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, quite excited about Morbius.
Yeah, perhaps not for the right reasons.
Don't care.
I'm into it.
Yeah,
I think we'll go and see this, and I think we'll have an okay time.
I think so.
It might be utter garbage.
Don't care.
But I think we'll enjoy it.
I absolutely marked out for the Vulture. I was like, what? Yeah,
that's a good sound.
Well, that's the noise. I probably did make a noise very similar to that. Let's move on to Birds of Prey and the bloody blah 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 Harley Quinn.
It's the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
I think I covered that,
which I enjoy saying because it's so ridiculous.
That may be the longest film title in all of ever.
It's up there.
It is long,
and I'm happy with that. I
mean,
I'm okay with it now. I hated it at first. I've come all the way around on it. I think it's a great name that doesn't need to exist, and I'm okay with that.
So Harley Quinn casually kills the Joker. See you, Jared Leto.
Well, I saw an article the other day that was like, so is this the death of Jared Leto's Joker? And
clearly it is.
It seems like it. It seems a lot like he got blown up.
Yeah, clearly it is.
I guess we'll deal with that in the film. Yeah. I feel like this trailer doesn't give us a lot of new stuff, but what it gives us, I like. It does.
It kills the Joker. Oh, that's a statement of intent. That's a massive middle finger to Jared Leto.
Hey,
it's a big deal.
He's going to be Morbius now, and apparently we're massive supporters of Morbius Leto. Jared Morbius. Jared Morbio. I'll figure out a catchy name.
It's not as gonna. You're not going to get a Batfleck. You know,
I'm not. But I think it still looks like a really good film. We actually see Obi-Wan putting the mask on.
We do. Don't call him Obi-Wan.
He's still Obi-Wan to me, damn it.
Well, if we're playing that game, he's Renton to me.
Okay, well played.
I've forgotten the actor's name now. I've just got Renton in my head.
He's...
You've forgotten the actor's name as well, haven't you?
He's Obi Renton. No,
Obi Renton.
He's Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, thank you. Mark Renton.
And as much as I like him in the films we've just talked about, the first thing I always think about is that show where he just drove around the planet on a motorcycle.
Oh, that was dead good, that.
I can't remember what it was called.
Neither can I.
But that's the first thing I think of, and it's what he's probably least famous for.
No, but it was dead good.
It was good.
It was dead good.
So yeah, we see him getting all villained up, and...
We do.
I'm looking forward to it. He's a good actor, and I'm curious as to what he's going to bring to it. I think the Birds of Prey casting is pretty solid, really.
Well, we actually saw the Birds of Prey in this, which we didn't see in the last trailer.
We kind of got little hints of them in the last trailer,
the last trailer was like,
not enough.
Look at our Harley Quinn film that we've called Birds of Prey. Whereas now, I criticise that quite heavily because as cool as Harley Quinn is, it's like, come on. The film is called Birds of Prey.
Yeah, she's not meant to be the focus.
They balanced that out a little bit more, which is good.
It is good, and I like the Birds of Prey we're getting here. I think it's a good, interesting team.
It's still clearly Harley Quinn focused. I think at some point they realised they would make more money from Harley Quinn and hijacked and rewrote this film. That's the impression that it gives me, anyway.
It does look that way, but I do think if it's just using Harley Quinn to get people through the door, I guess that's okay, especially if then people come away from it liking Black Canary or Montoya or whoever more. I think that's a positive option
Fair
there.
enough.
But
I liked the hyena.
Yes, the hyena joke with him being called Bruce was great.
I liked the hyena a lot.
I like that. It's a good way to end a trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also still really looking forward to this. I'm happy to get some Birds of Prey soon.
I was going to go and see it anyway because I like Harley Quinn, but like I said, I was cynical about it being hijacked as a Harley Quinn film, whereas now I'm still excited to see it, but for a different way. I think that we might actually get to see some Birds of Prey in this film.
Yeah, I think first trailer seemed very much, this is going to be about Harley, but there will be Birds of Prey, and this feels like trying to balance the scales a bit more on that, show us more of...
Not sure they did a completely good job. It was still pretty Harley focused.
Pretty Harley focused, but I think the other elements are showing themselves more.
Exactly. So yeah, that looks dead good too.
It does.
Yeah.
So our third trailer is Bloodshot,
which also looks dead good. Spoilers.
It does. My only thing is, so we got the first Bloodshot trailer like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And Bloodshot comes out in like a month.
Yeah.
I feel like this second trailer has been released because people do 2 trailers.
Yes. It adds nothing.
Yeah. I know nothing extra.
No.
It's got a lot of shots from the first trailer in it.
Yeah. It's still intense. It's still got action. It's still got cool special effects. I liked the big gun.
Yeah,
that's all.
I know a lot about Bloodshot, but because of this trailer, I don't know that much more about what the film's going to be. No. So it still looks good.
I think you're absolutely right. I think it's like we need a second trailer because we need a second trailer.
Because people do 2 trailers.
Yeah,
so.
Rather than we've got something extra to reveal in this trailer. We've got something to say with this trailer. And I am no more and no less excited about the Bloodshot film.
I've plateaued on Bloodshot excitement. I'm just
plateaued.
Yeah, I don't get to say it a lot, so I have to take my opportunities.
I have also plateaued. Good. Good words.
We'll make a list on the wall of words we need to use more.
Yeah. Discombobulated is a favourite of mine.
That's a good word.
When he got shot in the face in this trailer, he looked quite discombobulated.
Proper discombobulated.
He did.
But yeah, I think the effects look great still. I think Vin Diesel looks like he's going to be a good Bloodshot.
I like Vin Diesel.
I said that 2 months ago. I'm saying it again now.
I've got nothing to add, but I think I said I think I just sat there and went, I like Vin Diesel. The last time we talked about Bloodshot as well.
Just take away. We quite like Vin Diesel.
We do.
Not really bothered by what film he's in.
No.
Luckily, I quite like Bloodshot.
Yeah.
And you quite like action films.
I do.
With Vin Diesel. So
good times. I think this was an easy please for both of us.
Yeah,
really, wasn't it?
It didn't give us anything extra, but we didn't need anything extra.
No.
So fair play. 3 films, I'm going to see them all.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them all in different ways. But
have you got any more news?
Not really. No, I'm pretty.
I've got some me news. I decided that my poll was too big, so I've subscribed to Marvel Unlimited. I got a special offer through Facebook and saved some money. So
I did the same thing this time last year.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it a go, and I'll let you know what I think. So far, so good.
It's my only complaint would be that can feel like a bit of a delay with the 6 months.
Yeah, and I wonder how well I'm going to cope with that. I've just started reading Life Story on there, and I expected to be able to read them all,
but you can't.
I'm waiting for issue 5 and 6 now.
I had a few things. I caught up on Runaways, the Rainbow Rowell series, and then found I now need to wait 6 months for the next trade.
Well,
so
I found that basically, particularly with the Marvel books, they were the ones that I was putting to one side and binging in one go.
Yeah.
So I'd got 4 or 5 copies of Daredevil. That's 4 months where I've not read Daredevil.
Yeah.
So maybe as great as the new Daredevil run is, probably should put it on Marvel Unlimited. So
yeah.
Further muddying the waters, I'll be deciding whether or not I'm going to pull on Marvel Unlimited or pull in actual trade.
Yeah.
Because in actual comics, and I've cancelled everything, including Marauders, which hurts because that one I have been reading the day I get it.
I think the thing I came with from. That's just a lot of words that don't tie together. What I brought away from Marvel Unlimited is that although I like that it is a resource and that there's so much you can read from forever ago or whatever you want, especially stuff that's out of print.
I read some Thunderstrike.
Yeah, right. You can just dig into the 90s. It might not have the full run, but
no.
But what I've come away with is so Marvel keep doing the kind of nice 2-in-1, 3-in-1 hardbacks of trades. So I've kind of been like, well, I really enjoyed this run, so I will buy the hardback of it, so I've got it if I stop having Marvel Unlimited. So I think I'm still buying Marvel books, I'm just not buying as many Marvel singles.
Yeah, I think that's... I'm probably not going to buy anything. The whole point is to try and save me money and see how I get on with it. So I guess I'll let you know in a few months' time.
We'll find out.
Let's talk about this week's comics.
Yes.
So we made a mistake. Ghostbusters don't come out this week.
No,
comes out
it
next week.
Frankly, I blame the internet.
Yeah, the internet told us that Ghostbusters came out next week, so we asked for it. And when we got to Travelling Man, they said, we don't got that, it's coming out next week. But their grammar was better than that.
It were.
Yeah, talking about Travelling Man, they are our sponsors, and they are lovely. And they help us run this show every week, and we both have our pulls there. Travelling Man are your local comic book shop based in Manchester, Leeds, Newcastle and York. So if you live in any of those places, go and see Travelling Man, get a pull with them, buy their board games, and they're lovely folk. Have a chat.
Aye, they're alright, really.
Yeah, they've also got their sale on, which ends on Sunday. So it ends tomorrow if you listen to this live. If you're listening to it next week, well, it's ended, sorry. But they have got an extra 20% off on some things. So go and check that out. Buy some stuff that is bargainously priced.
Indeed.
Yeah. Let's talk about the books.
Let's do that.
Oh, we replaced... We did replace Ghostbusters. We've not just got 2.
Yeah, we did. We replaced it with the Hellboy Winter Special.
Should we start with that?
Why not? Yeah.
Hellboy Winter Special by Dark Horse. And I've not read as much Hellboy as I'd have liked. And I've not read any Hellboy in a long time.
Yes. Yeah.
And I didn't read very much Hellboy with this.
No, this is like 3 short stories within the Hellboy universe. Famously, there's been a lot of Hellboy short stories over the years, and I think this is just quite good, really.
Well, yeah, but there was like maybe 10 panels with Hellboy actually in it.
Yeah, not a lot of Hellboy. I think the reality is that as the Hellboy, after the initial Hellboy story arc came to a close, it's kind of using that universe to tell other people's stories and using Hellboy sparingly throughout. So we see, more of everybody else, really, and more of just random little
so
bits and pieces.
We had 3 short stories, Miser's Gift, Longest Night, and Beast of Ingelheim, and Miser's Gift was the only one that actually had Hellboy in it.
Also, from my point of view, probably the best of the 3.
Not my point of view, I'm afraid. I liked Longest Night the most.
Longest Night was good. I really liked, so I think it was Mark Laszlo, who was the artist for Miser's Gift. I thought he was just good art.
I thought it really
suited Hellboy.
I agree. I've also got that in my notes too. And it was a cute little story about, and I think there was a theme across all 3 of them actually. The stories were about assumptions and misconceptions. All 3 of them had that as a theme. And I liked that the 3 stories had a theme, and I liked that they all kind of had a lesson about, don't make assumptions about people. Don't, and if you may have had a misconception about people and learn about stuff. They all kind of had a little bit of a moral in a way about with the same message, which I liked. I did like
not
that.
necessarily a conventional way of telling that moral, but
it's Hellboy.
True, fair play.
But yeah, Miser's Gift was a cute little story. The artwork was fantastic. I agree with that. Longest Night was my favourite because I'm a sucker for a murder mystery. Yeah,
I very tropey to begin with, I think, with the setup, and I really liked that.
But I'm a sucker for a tropey murder mystery. I bloody love having a sit down and a watch of Poirot.
Yeah, it felt like the setup felt very Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
God, we do have a lot in common at times, don't we?
Do you own the Poirot box set?
I don't, but my mother does.
I am so proud of my Poirot box set. I think I like it because it's perhaps not what people would expect me to have a box set of.
Yeah, fair.
Perhaps they'd expect me to have the X-Files or the complete cartoon X-Men or whatever. But no, I bloody love some Poirot, mate.
I think what we really need is like a spin-off series from Pull Our Pass. Is just we'll watch each Poirot.
Don't you tempt me. Don't you dare tempt me, because I'd absolutely do that.
It'd take quite a long time as well, so...
Well, there's a lot of Poirot.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, David Suchet with your tash. Anyway, we're talking about comic books, not David Suchet and his tash. I'm also very fond of, crazy twist stuff. But basically, I call it the Dusk Till Dawn twist.
Yep.
And this was that.
Exactly that, yeah.
Yeah, it was just bloody cool. I really, really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed the baddie getting his comeuppance. I really enjoyed the campy Agatha Christie. This was out of the 3. This was the one that was like, Mark, this is for you, smack around the face kind of thing.
Yeah, this does seem very you, to be fair.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I finished it and I paused and I just had a big grin to myself, sat on my own in the bedroom.
I think the 3rd story, which the Beast of a big word,
the Beast of Ingelheim,
was my least favourite of the 3.
Me too. It was interesting.
I'm not even sure why.
It was interesting. I liked the moral ambiguity in the story, but the first one had Hellboy, which is what I was expecting. The second one was for me
Hellboy and ghosts.
Yes, and the third one was there and was okay. I wasn't disappointed with it. I still enjoyed it, but it was still it was noticeably the one was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair.
But it was a nice little book. Overall, it was a really nice little book. I didn't know what to expect, because I was expecting to not be afraid of no ghosts.
Fair.
Yeah.
And instead, we got ghosts.
We did.
But we didn't find out if we were afraid of them or not.
No. So I don't really know how we can choose whether we'd pull or pass on this, because I've always intended to read more Hellboy, and I still intend to read more Hellboy, but... so this hasn't changed anything.
I guess it's the... Yeah, do you still want to read more Hellboy, and would you
yes.
pull future Hellboy short stories?
Yeah, I suppose I would, because this was fun. This was cute.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've read some Hellboy, not enough. I've read other short stories, and I will read more.
Yeah, it's a nice little book. It was dead impressive. I didn't know what to expect, and I liked it.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, sort of a pull. But
yeah,
but there's nothing to pull yet.
As pull as possible.
Yes.
An iteration.
And a reverse pull for the previous Hellboy.
Yeah. We've also got 2 other books. Both of them are Marvel, because DC didn't have anything that we thought was an appropriate starting point. But also, none of the indies had any number ones either. There was literally... I mean, Hellboy Winter Special wasn't even a number one.
There was a couple of others.
Were there? I didn't see any when I looked.
I think it was Dragon Age, and
I'm glad we missed that.
So it was all kind of adaptations of
We should probably look at those occasionally, but I'm glad we missed that.
We did Genlock and we did Ruby, and
we did.
We've done some.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Ruby. But I'm 41 years old, and my reaction to something is to blow a raspberry. What's wrong with me?
It's hard to say.
Right, let's talk about Ironman 2020.
Okay.
Weird concepts, and I was excited by the idea of... I remember reading stuff in the 90s and Ironman 2020 travelling in time, and it's 2020 now.
Weird, right?
So as a concept, Ironman 2020 was science fiction, and that came back to haunt them because it...
Eventually, 2020 rolled around and Marvel still made books.
Well, 2000 AD launched in 1977.
Yeah.
And then they got to the year 2000 and then...
We didn't live in megacities yet.
We didn't, no. So, obviously, as a kid reading Iron Man 2020, it was a science fiction concept, and now I've hit that science fiction concept. There are people that, not me, probably not you, but there are people that have been reading 2099 that might actually end up
in 2099.
In 2099.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
It's a very weird thing. I guess when Marvel started these titles, they were in the distant future, and now here we are.
There's almost a modesty to it. I don't think 2000 AD expected to have 2,150 issues into the year 2020 any more that Marvel expected to get anywhere near 2099 or indeed 2020.
Yeah, true. I think... So this is almost... Well, it is. This is going to be like an event, really.
Yeah, which wasn't what I was expecting.
No,
I was actually quite cross about that because I'm going to try them a little more with Unlimited, I think, but I do not like the events that expect you to buy a huge number of comic books in a short amount of time, and it makes me cross. It's just aggressive marketing that doesn't work on me. It just makes me grumpy.
I do quite like an event comic, but I've largely read them all in trades.
Then that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to wait 6 months, and I'm going to read them in order on Unlimited.
I didn't think this was going to be like that, though. I thought this was going to be an arc of Iron Man 2020 that was in the middle of Iron Man.
So did I.
And then the list at the back that's like, hey, there's also going to be Machine Man 2020 and Force Works 2020. And it's like, okay, so this is an event with like 10, 12 issues in it.
I don't feel like we were warned that was going to be the case. I felt like it was advertised as just a new title.
Yes, that's definitely the way it looked.
And either I'm dopey or I've been misled. And either way, I'm not particularly happy that this book made me feel like that.
I mean, this could be that it is just an event to launch Arno Stark, and he'll return to being a fixture in Marvel. But I'm unsure. I have mixed feelings about this book all around. There are some things that I liked about it, and I'm really interested by.
So I'm a sucker for an Asimovian sentience speculation story. I do like that, but we've seen that with Spider-Man and the clones in this universe as well.
Yeah, I feel like this is very. I mean, Dan Slott has written. So he wrote The Clone Conspiracy a couple of years ago for Spider-Man, and I feel like similar vibes here with kind of the Starks being brought back from the dead, and Tony being MIA in his synthetic body,
but still getting drunk.
Gotta do what you gotta do, aren't you?
Well,
unless you had a pretty famous arc about giving up alcohol.
Well, yeah, quite.
Also, if you're a robot, can you get drunk?
Well, clearly.
Valid point.
Because he does.
He does.
Yeah.
I do quite like that. So the twist here that obviously must have happened in Ironman, which we weren't reading, that Tony was still an AI in a synthetic body. I'm kind of interested in. I kind of like the idea of Tony. I liked him as an AI in Ironheart. I like the idea of Tony being a kind of he's died, but he's back as an AI, and he's still trying to be Iron Man. I quite like that.
Yeah, there's some really cool concepts in this, some really, really interesting arcs, but it doesn't feel completely original.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it feels like it's just pinched a lot of storylines and philosophy from other stuff what I like, which is okay, but I guess that probably wasn't what I was expecting.
No, I thought this was going to feel influenced by previous Machine Man, Iron Man 2020 and stuff, previous Arno Stark, but it didn't feel that we've seized control of Stark Unlimited and Tony Stark's in hiding, and except here he is coming out of an off license. All felt very. I don't know, not the most.
This book suffers from what Star suffered from last week as well, and it's a Marvel title. I don't like the main protagonists. I don't like Arno and I don't like Sunset. I think they're both mean.
I'm going to be honest. I love the name Sunset Bane.
Yes,
but
she's a cow.
Yeah, I don't like her. And
I got so cross when she took Dr. Shapiro's collar off him.
There's some really harsh things in this.
I was like, Kitty.
I'm surprised as well. I didn't think Arno was going to be a bad guy, and the Robot Revolution, which we saw hints of in Incoming.
Oh, I was going to say in 2000 AD, 30 years ago.
That too. A kind of they're good guy terrorists, which is an awkward space to occupy. But I
believe they call themselves freedom fighters, Zach.
Yes. But Arano calls them terrorists.
He does,
and he's our protagonist.
Yeah,
sort of. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I found this book problematic, I'm afraid.
It's
got a lot of stuff in that I like, but it's a pass because I don't like Arno, and it wasn't what I was expecting, and I don't want another massive crossover event, thank you very much. Marvel seem to do them every 5 minutes.
What's weird to me is I liked Arno more in the 5-page appearance in Incoming.
Right.
I thought...
Yeah.
He didn't seem like the bad guy. He seemed smug and if you'd asked me the right question.
Yeah.
But he didn't seem like the heel that he is here. And I think the Robot Revolution was included in Incoming as well, and they seemed, it was Herbie, who gained sentience and stormed off.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And so I'm on the side of the Robot Revolution before the comic even started.
Yeah.
So I think seeing it from Arno's point of view is but I don't care about you, Arno. You're the bad guy now.
Yeah.
So not a nice bad guy neither.
No. So what do you think? Is this a pull? Are you interested?
This is a pass for me. I think Marvel Unlimited maybe in the future.
Yeah,
if
that's
I hear good
think.
Things.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like this the crossover was dropped on me, which made me cross. And I'm not putting that kind of investment in for something that I didn't enjoy enough, but I could reread it in a trade or, in this case now, on Marvel Unlimited.
I think the only thing that's going to bug me is if that trade is collected as the 6 issues of Iron Man 2020 and everything else happens somewhere else.
Again, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that this gets collected in a 2020 kind of way and looks good.
War of the Realms just came onto Unlimited, so what I might do is I might give that a go as reading in the order that you're supposed to read it and see how I get on with that.
I mean, I haven't read all War of the Realms yet, but I mean, Jason Aaron's Thor run was
it's an investment in time
incredible.
for sure.
But for me, my recommendation is go back to 2012. Read all of Jason Aaron's Thor. It's brilliant.
Okay.
So should we move on to...
Yeah, let's move on to Jessica Jones.
Blind Spot.
Blind Spotting.
Number 1.
Yeah. I love the premise of Jessica Jones, and I love the teleseries of Jessica Jones. I have read so little Jessica Jones. This may actually be the first Jessica Jones comic I've read that isn't with her just featuring in someone else's comic, thinking about it.
Yeah, I've read on and off, but this is the first.
As a concept, I think, because it can be segmented into cases, it's a very approachable, very approachable and easy access title, where she can have this case and you can read that case and then you can leave it 12 months and there's another Jessica Jones case. And I think from a user-friendly point of view, I think Jessica Jones is great, and this comic was very much of that ilk.
Yeah.
Were there ever Jewel comics, or did she start as Jessica Jones and it was only ever referential to Jewel? Because I'd be interested to read the Jewel comics, which may or may not be on Marvel Unlimited. I
don't think there's any Jewel. I think at the start of...
I don't think there is, but
so at the start
I don't know.
Alias that Bendis wrote, I think it's just, she used to be a superhero called Jewel.
Right, okay.
There's hints to it throughout different things, Avengers and stuff like that, but I think it's always kind of, she is Jessica Jones, and don't worry about Jewel, that never happened.
What I really liked about this was it gently gave you a little bit of fan service if you like the Netflix series. She's friends with Matt Murdock. She's in a relationship with Luke Cage. But I like how it's also uniquely the comic too. She's got a kid with Luke.
Yes.
And the family element was done really, really well in this. It wasn't over-egged, but it was definitely there. The kid had a tantrum over the wrong cereal, and that's...
relatable.
Very much so. My nephew would have done the same, and you know, I thought it was really well done, really gently put in there, but also a nice meat on the bones of the character as well as a good story. And I really liked how they did her kind of like in Sherlock, the telly show where it had like the text on the side of what he was thinking. They did that with Polaroids.
Yeah, with like Polaroids over a
which
person.
I really, really liked.
Really,
I thought that was dead cool.
A really different way of doing something we've seen a lot, and I quite liked that.
Yeah.
I really like the family dynamic that we see with her and Luke. I always forget, but I love that the daughter is named after Danny Rand.
Yeah.
It's just good.
Yeah.
I thought this was quite a good little detective story, though.
Yeah, I really liked it. I think it works really nicely. I think the concept of Jessica Jones is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think maybe it became too superhero by the end of the Netflix series.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd have liked them to have kept it more street level, gentle, not gentle, but kind of detective stories like this comic book is. So this is the Jessica Jones that I think I want.
Yeah, I think it's a strength of the character to be the kind of detective on the ground, on the streets, with who knows Murdoch and knows other ground level characters.
Yeah.
I think ground level's the wrong term, but I'm standing by it.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
And Kelly Thompson, who's the writer for this, is an interesting one because she wrote Kate Bishop Hawkeye a couple of years ago, which had cameos from Jessica Jones in it.
Right.
Because Kate was kind of setting up her own detective agency.
Right.
So I feel like this is another good example of continuation. If you've read Kelly Thompson's other stuff, But
you don't need it.
Yeah,
because I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I love this book.
So I think those little ties are quite nice, and the ties that make the Marvel Universe interesting at times is knowing Kelly Thompson has kind of used Jessica Jones as a character before and has a grasp on who she is.
Right. I had one gripe, but it is quite a meaty one. The cliffhanger was like, holy moly. Like, wow, what the... Oh my... And then it was ruined with in the next issue page.
I'm not going to lie to you, I'd forgotten about what the next issue page was. 1 second.
It was just really annoying. I'm like, I hate next issue stuff. I always have done. Next time on X-Men. No, I don't want to know what's on next time on X-Men. I want my cliffhanger, damn it. Why are people so damn impatient?
I feel like there's going to be another issue. It's a 6-issue limited series.
Oh,
and
right.
But no, what I'm saying is I feel like because of that, you don't really need a, hey, come back next month. You either are or you aren't.
I think it's unfortunate that we live in a very impatient world where cliffhangers get ruined.
Yeah.
And I remember, I often compare stuff to Doctor Who, but 80s Doctor Who, the cliffhangers would haunt me for a week, and that would be a hell of an experience. Whereas now, current Doctor Who, there's a next time on Doctor Who, and it tells you that they survived the cliffhanger and everything is okay. Yeah. And I'm like, oh.
I agree. I think we had this with Roku a couple of months ago, where the immediate next page spoiled the cliffhanger. And I feel like it's comics. We know it's a cliffhanger. We know there's going to be another issue in a month.
Have confidence in your cliffhangers.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a big thing with Marvel at the moment to end everything with, make sure you come back next month for the next issue. It's like, we know it's
a bit desperate.
It's comics. We're aware.
Yeah, it just seems a little bit earnest and desperate.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm all for, hey, this is the cover of the next issue, so you know what you're looking for, because covers can change quite drastically. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that. I understand why that bugs you.
Yeah. But if that's the only gripe I've got, then maybe I was looking for one.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
No, I don't think that's fair. It genuinely irritated me.
No, I totally.
But
understand.
it is the only gripe I have.
Yeah, but I think this is a good issue. I think this is a good starting point. I think Kelly Thompson is a good writer for this kind of book.
I think so too.
Mattia D. Eulis.
I'm not even going to try.
Nope. Really good artist as well for it, I think. Yeah. I think they suit as a team for this.
They got this book right. They definitely got this book right.
And I think this is a pull for me. I'm looking forward to the rest of it. And
it's a pull for me too.
But it's good. I think I've liked all of Kelly Thompson's Marvel books, so I think it was likely to be a pull.
And this was the one that we wouldn't have put on if there'd have been a DC title. We'd have only put on Ironman 2020, and this one would have sailed by without us.
I'm glad DC let us down this week.
Me too, because this was by far the highlight of the week for me.
Yeah, and I think it's nice. We get to reflect what the comic, landscape is each week by if DC haven't started anything.
Yeah.
And Marvel have started 5 books or whatever. I think that's good for us. So
yeah, and I think it has very much been that DC is the one that won't have a book for us over the last 15 episodes.
I don't think we've ever. I think there was one week where we did all indies.
Yeah, that's true.
But other than that, we've always had a Marvel release.
Yeah, it's true.
DC. I don't know if it's just me. DC predominantly at the moment seems to be Black Label.
Yeah, it does.
If it's a new series, it's Black Label.
Yeah, I agree. Which is good, because I like Black Label.
Yeah, it is.
What a nice concept it is to have, like, a soundtrack to listen to your comics with.
Yeah, it's something I really like.
As a concept, I like it, and I've read books that have done it, but I've never actually listened along. Have you done that? Does it make a difference? Is it dead good and stuff?
I think the issue is if you read faster than the songs, and you probably do.
Right.
So I studied it as part of my uni degree thing.
You got a degree for reading comics?
I managed to make a dissertation about it, yeah.
Excellent.
So yeah, I think it's an interesting idea, and I like when people kind of go, hey, this is what I was listening to when I wrote this. Lemire did it with Royal City, as we covered, and other people. Kieran Gillen, I know, made playlists for Wicked and Divine and Phonogram. And
yeah, there was one I read a while ago, Gunning for Hits, that also did it as well.
And
I liked Gunning for Hits.
Gunning for Hits was alright, yeah.
Yeah.
But I am interested in it, and I like when people try and use music with comics. They're two things I like a lot, so...
Do you know, I've got all of Gunning for Hits. I might revisit Gunning for Hits and deliberately put the music on, because inevitably it will be David Bowie, and
Yeah, there's a lot of Bowie on that.
Any excuse to play David Bowie. In fact, I might look at those playlists and go, ooh, David Bowie, ooh, David Bowie, ooh, David Bowie, and then just play a month worth of David Bowie on the show.
I think the greatest gift I've been given is a guy, I can't remember his name, he drew the comic Hitsville, which is like a small press book.
Yeah.
Released a book called Sound and Vision, which is just about all of his favourite artists.
Good.
And there's a playlist for that, so I'm
Good.
just like, if I want some classic thing like Blondie or Bowie, I can just go to that and be like, well, it was on their playlist.
That's the thing. We only need a tenuous link for what we want to play. I mean,
and boy, do we find them.
Yeah, I got away with in the 60s Batman, when they hit each other, the thing on the screen went wham. I'm going to play some Wham. So I think we've got to the point where we can basically play what we want.
Yeah, I mean, you push it sometimes, but it works.
Whatever. So let's talk about what we're doing next week. And we've actually managed to get a Marvel, a DC, and an indie. Go team!
I like to think there's still time for that to all fall apart.
Well,
but
it would be just our luck if Ghostbusters got delayed, wouldn't it?
So we are going to try and do Ghostbusters.
We are,
Year
because
one,
it is
issue
released.
1.
It is released next week.
Or so we've been led to believe.
And that's our indie. That's by IDW. We're also going to do Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Obviously, that will have a legacy number that's different, but it's still clearly a start.
Still one to us, damn it.
Yeah, and it's a jump-on point for us to have a look at Guardians of the Galaxy. And the third one is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like to think so.
You don't get many comics that get to 750 issues.
Not easily, no.
No. So we're going to read Wonder Woman 750 from DC, which is an oversized celebration
96 pages.
Yeah, it's
a trade, basically.
Yeah, it's a celebration of how wonderful Wonder Woman is, and I think I've read very little Wonder Woman comics other than in crossovers, so I think it's about time I give it a proper full-on go, and I think this is a jumping-on point that can give me a fair assessment of whether I want to read some more Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I'm looking forward to... I'm looking forward to all three.
Yeah, I am. Oof. I am, very much so. Ghostbusters looks fun. Guardians of the Galaxy is something I should have read more of, and Wonder Woman's definitely something I should have read more of. So I think we've got a pretty interesting week headed our way next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, me too.
And due to me looking at advanced solicitations for once, we've even got ideas of what we might read in the next few months.
Have we? But by we, you actually just mean you.
I sent you one thing. I'll send you
did.
some more things that I came across and it's like, this looks cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I've seen advertised that looks cool, but we'll talk about that when we haven't got seconds left before we overrun.
Fine, I suppose. Whatever.
So thank you very much for listening to Pull or Pass. We've pulled, we've passed.
I'm going to do it all again next week.
Wow. And we'll see you then.
Thanks for listening to Pull or Pass. To listen again, it's www.mixcloud.com/pull-or-pass.
Or you can listen to the podcast version on Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and all other good podcast sites.
Join our Facebook group, search for Pull or Pass Radio Show.
Follow us on Twitter @PullOrPass.